I thought I'd try lighting this time. The only light I've got is my lights in my room. So I hope that helps. I don't know. It's the one person watching. I hope it makes me look slightly less like I've had a stroke. Because I was watching the last one and I realised this eye kind of droops down a little bit sometimes, and it kind of makes me look like I'm a stroke victim. And the beard probably makes it look like I don't have the energy to actually shave anymore because of that. Which neither think. Well, I guess I don't have the energy to shave, but apart from that, I don't have a stroke, so that's all good. So yeah, I thought I'd talk about Rise of the Foot Soldier. I've watched this twice, I think, over my lifetime. Once was because I was 14, or even not even that, 13, and I thought, Foot Soldier, yay, violence, be a good action film. And then I watched it again for nostalgia's sake, and it didn't hold up at all. So it's about a guy who is apparently based on a true guy who's lived through the criminal underworld for the last 30 years. Started as in a football firm, I believe West Ham's, because it's always sodding West Ham's, and they're always playing fucking Millwall. Because apparently that's a giant rivalry I think no one will care about. I don't think it is even, as well. So yeah, he then moves on to being a bodyguard, and from that bodyguarding drugs, and from that just kind of moving on really to other things, which I guess I've got to give the story credit for. It does seem like quite a natural progression, but they were just literally following what was going on. So I don't really know to give them credit because all they had to do was just read up on what happened. Um, and like halfway through the story, it turns to these other two fellas more than hitting the main character, and those two fellas, what happens to them? I won't spoil it. You can read up on what happens to them. Apparently, that's what happens in the film Essex Boys as well. So if you watched Essex Boys, you kind of know the plot to the last half of it. But it's, I mean, I've seen one of. I think the main character in this directed the second one, which I think I've also seen. It rings a bell, but that was a pretty forgettable film. I might talk about that afterwards if I can remember the film at all. And yeah, so he's done something, I guess, with his name, but I don't know if that really counts directing the film you starred as. Because when the director and the producer fuck off and you're left to direct it, it doesn't say a lot. And then one other character I think was in EastEnders at one point, and the rest are literally just big, violent, angry guys, like in all those other kind of films you watch. Um, but I'll give the main character. I know the actor's called Ricky Hatton. Or along those lines, anyway. I think that's the boxer, maybe. But it's something like that. It's Ricky Hatton or Ricky Harnett or something. He's very good at being angry. He does anger well. He looks like an intimidating guy when he's angry. But anything else everyone else does, they seem to have the notion that because they're going to be hard nuts, they'll just talk at this kind of tone, but a bit more cockney like this. And you need a bit of passion in your acting. I mean, I don't need to do passion in this because I'm not getting paid. But if you're getting paid for something, put in a bit of effort because you'll just come off looking shit. I feel a lot of my points seem to be don't do this because you'll end up coming off like you're being shit. But this is one of them. Just a bit of passion. I mean, one guy puts in a bit of passion, it works. But apart from that, the rest is all just free flat kind of she's gagging for it kind of humour, or I got to service the missus and stuff. And it's all very 90s dance music-y kind of things, and I guess things happen in it. I guess I gotta give it that. There are a number of events keep happening, so I guess you could either say the film is OCD because it just jumps around from point to point without any of it really being consequential to anything else. I mean, halfway through, I'll spoil a bit. The Turkish gang get a hold of some of his crew because they think he stole heroin, and they all get tortured, and one of them kills himself, and it's never brought up again. It's like the guy seems shook up about it and annoyed, but then nothing happens. It just happens. He dies, and you're sitting there trying to remember his name more than anything else, even though they say it about 4 times as he dies, because that's how little he mattered to the plot. And I don't think he's been anything else, which is kind of unfortunate, I guess, for him. But at the same time, yeah, yeah, that's what I've really got on this film. There's not really any plot holes or anything because it's a biography. If there were plot holes, that'd be really fucking bad. But hey ho. Yeah, I'm gonna give this a 3 out of 10. No, 4 out of 10 actually, because I guess it was shot decently. Um, and things happen in it, which is a lot to say for a lot of other films, to be honest. So yeah, 4 out of 10. If you're done with Green Street and you thought, this was good, but I want to see something now in the real world, this is your ticket. This is the one that's going to get you off. So yeah, enjoy that.